Alright, ladies and gentlemen, MrSotko here. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about the lowering prices of cryptocurrency and mining. Then I'm going to talk about the next lending coin that I believe will collapse and go under. And then we'll talk about some news articles after that. So first and foremost, as many of you already know, cryptocurrency prices are plummeting at the moment. And it's not too big of a deal. It's not any kind of serious crash or anything, but we made it to nearly 11.7 with Bitcoin. Many people in the crypto world believed that if it got to 12,200, that we would be in a bullish market, and then it would just continue rising from there. So one thing you have to know is that Bitcoin got to about $19,800 at its peak on GDAX. That was about December 18th. And then it quickly fell towards the... It fell all the way to about February 2nd to about 6,000 or so. I think it got a little bit under 6,000 at a few points, but 6,000 is a good average there. So that means that all the people that are in currently the high teens holding Bitcoin that bought in at 15, 16, 17,000 are pretty much stuck in their position. If they didn't short themselves, they are stuck in that position, and that means a lot of volume is now gone from Bitcoin and many other cryptocurrencies that were very high at that period, including Litecoin that got up to about $400. So now we are currently at about 93.76. At one point it was a little bit lower than that as well, about 9,000, nearly breaking that 8,000 point. So we can take a look at some of the other coins here. Even Bitcoin Cash is way down, which that's not surprising. Ethereum is way down to 700, a little under 700 at the moment, about 701. At one point it was about $1,200, and as I said earlier, Litecoin was about $400 and now is about 175. So a lot of people are stuck right now. That takes the volume out of crypto when people are stuck high like that and did not short themselves to a lower position. So I was on TradingView here, and I was just sort of messing around and taking a look at some Fibonacci retracements and just looking at this recent dip here. And so I'm just playing around with this. A lot of these Fibonacci retracements are fairly subjective, mind you. You'll see these all over the place, and they don't always mean what they mean. And a lot of people fiddle around with Fibonacci retracements so that they get to a point where they fit to their narrative. But in that case, we can see if we just bring it down, depends on how far you want to bring it down here, but if we put it just about like that, if it continues any further, we might get to, let's see, just about the next dip would be 8,200 or so. The next dip below that would be 7,400, and then so on. So at the moment, we need an increase to about 11.7 for it to start into a bullish market from this period. And mind you, Fibonacci graphs are extremely subjective depending on where you put it at on the graph. And again, people just sort of fit their own narrative to wherever it fits best, again, to their own subjective minds. But it does have some validity in the market. If you guys don't know what Fibonacci graphs are, it's just basically the Fibonacci retracement, and it's like 23.6 percentage. I'm just not too into the Fibonacci graph thing, again, because it's really subjective. So if we put it here, we see that, you know, at about 11.7, it will start to break forward, and then its next height from that would be 15,000 before it would choose to either go down or back or continue up further. So if you just retrace it to an even higher point, like one of the highest points of Bitcoin up here at 19.8, and let's see, we got to grab it a little bit better there, and put it at that high point, and then put it all the way to today, to this low point. It sort of makes a totally slightly different narrative here and looks a little bit different. But so it is what it is, and I like to use a sort of a much closer graph, if you will, and play with it that way. And you can also do this with just about any of the coins, and it'll make you sign up if you spend too much time on TradingView. But either way, it is what it is. So let's take a look at the coin market cap, and so let's look at the coins that are up. We have a total of 6 of them. Wow. So we have Siren Labs token, NEM, Genesis, Ethereum Classic, interestingly enough, Ravane, Tether, interestingly enough, even though it's supposed to be tied to the US dollar, and then all the ones that are really down are literally every other coin. So you're not the only one. You're not the only one that is, having lower mining profits or anything like that. So everybody has lower mining profits. Somebody came to me today and they were like, "I'm only getting $1.70 a day for my 1070." And I'm like, well, you're not the only one. So it used to be like $4 or even close to $5. So Digix DAO is way down. iOS is way down. Monero is way down. So there is that. Everything is way down, and it just is what it is. So just keep hodling and wait till the prices come back up, or use this time to buy some more coin. Hedge Connect is a lending coin. So far, to my knowledge, I'm sure there are more than this. There is Devor coin that has collapsed. BitConnect has collapsed. Falcon Coin has collapsed. All of these have basically exit scammed. I would say that BitConnect was the least exit scammy. Apparently somebody driving by super fast was the least exit scammy. And I know that's that's a long shot to say. But at the very least, they gave everybody back the BitConnect at a specific price, and it was much lower than the market value at the time. I understand it was a disaster, but Devor Coin just basically let their coin crash to a penny and then left, and then Falcon Coin just basically closed their website and up and left. So it's a matter of how bad the exit scam was. But either way, all three of them were, and I believe Hedge Connect is going to be next. The reason why is they're having a lot of trouble, and this trouble is the same trouble that BitConnect and Devor Coin and Falcon Coin landed into. All of them were the same thing and claimed all the same things before they went down. So, if we were to deploy the token today, it would be unfixable. As it stands, we can fix it. Bear with us. A lot of questions to be clear. The hack does affect user accounts. They're being DDoSed. Everything and anything and everything they are being DDoSed over, hacked, everything. And this is it happened to BitConnect, it happened to Devor Coin, it happened to Falcon Coin, and they just eventually just shut down, didn't even give anybody their coins back or their Bitcoin back or anything like that. And why would they? They're all anonymous. None of this team is public. None of them have pictures, names, anything like that. So why would they give you back your Bitcoin? They're just going to take it and run. Nobody will ever catch them. Nobody will ever, put them in jail. Maybe years down the line, maybe if we're lucky. So none of this is going to happen. The Hedge Connect Reddit is not good. So I looked at some of these, and none of them are good at all. So this Reddit isn't very popular. There's only like 8 readers or so, like 4 users here now, and only like 8 people subscribe to it. But mind you, there's many more readers than that. It's just nobody ever subscribes to Reddits. So typical scams confirmed. I love Hedge Connect, and I think that one's sort of a satirical post. I guess they never learn. Scam. So it's just scam. I'd avoid this one. BitConnect 3.0. It's just bad, and I would consider that at least 4.0 because of Devor, Falcon Coin, BitConnect. So it's at least a 4th one. I think somebody on my YouTube channel also mentioned another one that went down as well. But these are the 3 major ones that went down, and this will probably be the 4th major one that went down. So if you're thinking about putting any money into Hedge Connect, look at this face. Don't do that. Chinese internet regulators block cryptocurrency exchanges on social media. So this is not pretty surprising. I'm sure like nobody that is watching this video is like, wow, that's incredibly surprising, because it's just not. But it's just yet another attack on social media for the Chinese. And why the Chinese are so important for cryptocurrency and why they have such a huge impact on the prices of cryptocurrency is one, that they, of course, want to get away from their communistic government's funds and the inflation, and they want their own autonomy. I mean, everybody does with cryptocurrency. That's the reason why we're all getting into it. But one of the major reasons is the absolute population. Unbelievable population in China, the biggest population in the world. So therefore, they have statistically the most buyers in the world. Maybe not like per capita, because I know you can use statistics in a very weird way. Trust me, I was a geographer. But I mean, when you have billions of people, you have billions of buyers, essentially, or at least hundreds of millions of buyers. So despite all its previous efforts to prevent people prevent the people, its rules, oh, that's weird, from engaging in the online trading of cryptocurrencies. The Chinese government is taking further action to deter the practice. According to reports, local internet users can still access the Chinese social media accounts of former mainland exchanges abroad, and regulators have now acted to prevent this. So, there have been numerous crypto bans in China, but it has still persisted regardless of these bans, just like when anything's really banned. I mean, you could even go back to, what was it, the 20s or 30s when there was the alcohol prohibition, and people were still drinking. People were still making alcohol. They're going to do it regardless. So basically, they were using over-the-counter trades, or they were using social media sites to trade crypto back and forth with each other as their own little exchanges, if you will. And now they're sort of trying to crack down on that on the individual apps themselves. So not good for crypto, and we'll see what happens with that. So new player ASRock said to enter the GPU mining mining market. So I don't know if it's like ASRock or what, but they are motherboard manufacturers, and now they're trying to get into mining GPUs, creating GPUs for miners. I'm all over the place today. No, I don't want notifications. Never allow. Thank you for going away. Hardware manufacturer ASRock, that's what I'm gonna call it for now, is reportedly planning to enter the video market soon, next month. The company may introduce its own graphics processing unit based on AMD chips. These can be used in cryptocurrency mining applications. Radeon processors are considered very efficient at mining some popular cryptocurrencies. The GPUs are mainly utilized in rigs processing transactions for altcoins like Ethereum and Monero. So this is very true with AMD. AMD is really good at Ethereum, and they are really good at Kryptonite, which includes Monero, Electroneum, and then Ethereum is basically any Ethereum coin. So they're really good at those. However, AMD are not so good at many other cryptocurrencies. So AMD, the most modern AMD GPUs use HBM2, so like high bandwidth memory 2, and that means they have very, very, very fast memory, much faster than NVIDIA. However, NVIDIA uses superior processing units, individual processing units, so NVIDIA is better at like Equihash, whereas AMD is better at Ethereum. So they each have their own little market there that they're better at. So if you try to mine Ethereum with an NVIDIA GPU, it works. It will do just fine, but it will be significantly less than the typical equivalent AMD GPU. There was some talk about the new GPUs from NVIDIA as well. So according to some applications, the other leading GPU producer, NVIDIA, has pushed back plans to introduce their new video processing units. It's been rumored that the company is going to reveal a new Turing graphics card for mining applications. And then later it was reported that no new products would be announced until at least July. And on top of that, Turing may eventually be offered as just another gaming GPU. The launch of the next-gen Ampere architecture in the consumer segment may also be postponed. So earlier, NVIDIA asked retailers to limit the number of graphics cards that could be purchased in bulk to ensure gamers get their share. So NVIDIA is really messing up in the crypto world. For example, they just released some graphics cards online here, some of the Founders Editions 1080. And they sold out immediately. They had them earlier today, and within like 10 minutes, they were gone. And now it's just a notify me sort of situation. And I was reading some articles that NVIDIA is not quite aware of how many GPUs have gone to crypto mining. Well, let me tell you, NVIDIA, that it's probably a lot of them. Let me guess that it's at least, that's a big emphasis on at least half. Because Newegg, Amazon, even like Craigslist and OfferUp, those local websites and things like that are, first of all, Newegg and Amazon are completely sold out almost always. And when you do see them, they're like $1,300, like $1,000. They're basically marked up virtually 100% from the graphics card price. There's a reason for that. It's not because there's so many gamers in the world, that there's so many gamers that we're all just going out to get more graphics cards for our gaming, right? Gamers need a graphics card, and that's it. That's it. They buy one and it lasts you for years if you buy a good graphics card. You don't have to buy a graphics card for years at a time. I mean, I know a lot of people like to get the next gen graphics card, but even still, that is only just one, maybe two for SLI. So the reason why these are all selling so quickly is because of crypto. And I think they're really fighting that, which is a weird thing. Also, they're talking about the Turing graphics cards and then the Ampere cards. That makes no sense. What is the difference? Because they're saying, well, the Turing might eventually be offered as just another gaming GPU, and the launch of the next gen Ampere architecture may be postponed as well. So which one's the gaming GPU? Are they both gaming GPUs? Then what's the difference between them? Is the Turing not the next gen Ampere architecture, and they're just going to make it like the 1080 like Turing, or like the 1090 Turing or something like that? This makes no sense, and I think Nvidia is not playing this game correctly. They need to be upping production, or they need to be making some GPUs for crypto miners if they want their bulk cards to get to gamers. And I think they need to realize, again, I hate to reiterate myself, that gamers only need one graphics card. You only need one. I know there's SLI, but trust me, I used SLI for years, and it's not that great. Nothing is really all that great about it. You get like a few more frames, and then 9 out of 10 games do not actually support SLI. SLI is a waste of money. It's not that great. If you have the money to do it, sure, go ahead. Nobody's going to stop you from doing it. But again, that would mean that you only need 2 cards. Nobody does 3-way or 4-way SLI anymore. That was a thing a while ago, and it never worked out to begin with. So the bulk of your cards is going to crypto miners. Get it through your head, NVIDIA. This one's kind of funny. New Jersey demands ICO endorsed by Steven Seagal to stop selling to residents. So Steven Seagal is endorsing a cryptocurrency called Bitcoin 2 Gen with 2 I's of fraudulently, so accuses the entities behind the Bitcoin 2 Gen of fraudulently offering unregistered securities in violation of the securities law. So why? Why, Steven Seagal? Why? Friends, I wanted to announce that Bitcoin 2 Gen will soon be listed on some of the biggest exchanges globally. Stay tuned. So they probably just paid him $1 million to tweet a few things, and for the ICO. The coin makes no sense. There's nothing special about the coin. There's not even a lot of information about the coin. Why? Moving on. So Japanese regulators issue punishment notices for 7 crypto exchanges. I guess we weren't actually clicked on it. The Japanese Financial Services Agency has sent punishment notices to 7 crypto exchanges and temporarily halted the activities of 2 more after a round of inspections prompted by January's CoinCheck hack. The FSA issued business improvement orders for a lack of proper and required internal control systems to 7 exchanges, including CoinCheck, which was specifically cited as lacking a system for preventing money laundering and financing of terrorism. Japanese financing terrorism? I've never really heard of that one since maybe World War II, but even then, that wasn't really terrorism. That was an outright war. But we've long since forgot about that to some degree, and nobody talks about it too much anymore other than the war itself. You know what I mean? You guys know what I mean. But like CoinCheck was hacked, and then they were going to give back like less than half basically of the money that was stolen from the individual investors. So it was really, really bad. And you could see all the Japanese, they just basically had their head hung in shame because of the hack on, I believe it was CoinCheck. And so this isn't good for crypto as well. It's just more regulations. Regulations, don't get me wrong here, regulations are not bad, right? So I think ICOs, a lot of ICOs should be regulated. They should be insured. They should be audited in some way, because there's all these ICOs popping up. And I would know. I get tons of them in my email. Maybe one of these days I'll show you guys my email inbox. I wake up in the morning, I have like 4 in my email. And it's like, oh, hey, and it's always some copy pasted message like, we love your YouTube channel, blah, blah, blah. Like, we would like to, see a sponsorship for this ICO. And once in a while I check them out. Why not? You know what I mean? I mean, this might be a good ICO. I checked out Naga Coin way back in the day. It turned out to be a good ICO, and it went to 4-fold, and now it's pretty low now because of all cryptocurrencies low. But it started as $1. It went up to like $4.50 or something like that at its height. So anybody who bought into that and then sold at that height made a lot of money. So it was really good. But 9 out of 10 of them are just total garbage, or they're like, check out this site, and then there's nothing good about it. They have a Twitter that has no posts. It just came up like 2 days ago. It's just all nonsense. You know, and I do my own investigating of these ICOs, and I always say that when I do find good ICOs, I'll show you guys them, but honestly, I never really do. So I do have, like I said in a couple of my previous videos, I have maybe an ICO coming up from a friend of a friend who's actually making it, and it seems like a really, really good ICO. So I'll bring that to you guys, you know, and it's your choice to invest in it or anything like that, but I'm going to be personally investing into it for sure. But like most of these ICOs are just total trash. Total trash. There's no doubt about it. It's just a cash grab to make some basically shitcoin to just for them to raise millions of dollars in Ethereum from people. That's it. Like that's what it is most of the time. And so I got a really, like I said, I got a really good one coming up, but it's definitely not going to be a shitcoin. I get it. I understand. Like, it's the hypocrisy. Like, I'm just like, no, ICOs are bad, and then I'm like, oh, I got a good ICO. But like, it just goes to show that some regulation would be really, really good, just so that these people just can't like take your coin and then just run off with it, right? So there has to be some kind of insurance. There has to be some kind of liability to these people. Half the time these ICOs, and I know I've said ICO, probably there's probably somebody counting. They're like, that's 15. You know, with these developers, they don't even show the development team, so there's no way that you can even know who made this coin or you know, any kind of liability for it. So that's not bad, but what I mean by this is that they're just straight up halting the exchanges, just straight up stopping them, and that stops a lot of liquidity, stops a lot of volume in the crypto world, and really affects prices. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was a little bit of a long one, but had a bunch of stuff to talk about. But I will see you guys next time.